Hola! I wanted to show you my progress in a challenge I made myself. A challenge that I do a portrait every day for a year, and I'm on 3 months now. So I will show you my portraits that I made for the last 3 months. I made it in 3 books, so we'll switch from one book to another so you can follow on order. This is the first one. I didn't really begin with the challenge. I just began with making portraits, and I thought, wow, I will do this every day now. And I think that's a really good start because I start from enjoyment and not from pressure. You can see that I play with watercolor as well because I never really draw with water paint. I did draw a lot with uh, Ecoline, but never with water paint. So I use water paint from Van Gogh, as other people who are not from the Netherlands will say it. And I use a fine liner, and later on I used also a white gel pen to do some lighter spots. I have a lot of friends asking me like, why don't you do just 5 portraits and then you can you have 4 days off, so you have 5 portraits ahead. But I just really wanted to discover how different my portraits will look like if I'm tired or when I'm not really that much time. And that became really interesting as well because sometimes I forget that I needed to make a portrait and it was 2 a.m. in the middle of the night and I was not really sober. And that turns out to be really interesting as well. Not really good portraits, pretty shitty one actually, but it also makes it fun for me to see the process of me being tired or, yeah, in what kind of state whatsoever. And when you see old portraits, that's because I'm pretty tired and I don't want to focus on a nice skin. So, yeah, that's where you can do a lot with lines and doesn't really bother it because old people have a really nice structure in their skin that you can play around with. And then I really enjoy doing that instead of focus on a really clear skin. As you can see, I also play around with different styles. So sometimes it's really messy, sometimes it's really clean. And I don't really know what kind of style I want to do, but this year is really for me to learn from a process and create portraits that are different. So hopefully, as you can see, there's a bit of diversity in what kind of people I make. I don't want to focus on all the pretty girls because, well, I even find it better to make portrait that doesn't look like pretty girls because, yeah, wait, not really sober that one, as you saw. Because you really kind of focus on what you see and not what you think you see. You know, sometimes you are like, I remember how to make an eye or a nose, and then you try to draw it out of your head instead of really looking at your picture. So I think a lot of diversity makes you still look better at what you really see and what you really need to draw. And I think I learned a lot in these 3 months. I learned a lot of depth in skin, but yeah, I'm certainly not there yet because the portraits are still not looking as their reference, and I would really like to make portraits that look like the person I try to make. You know, I have this party skill. Let me draw your face, and then it looks exactly like the face. So that's not where I am yet, because it doesn't look like the model. I'm getting better, but definitely not there yet. Really enjoy this one. I like to play around with colors as well. People get really excited also when I don't use the skin color but use more yellows and pink and green and blue. I think it makes it really fun. It's a nice style, but still, I want to just play around with different kind of styles. Maybe I will play around with other paints and stuff as well. So if you want to see more of my portraits, you can follow me on Instagram. I make sometimes I make a time lapse of my process, and you can see a portrait every day. So I will see you around.